right. Welcome back to AI Solutions, the pathway to profit. This is episode 10. Today, we're talking about something a complete game changer for anyone running their own show. We're calling it the AI Solopreneur, automating your one-person business to punch above its weight. Look, I've spent enough time in the trenches as a solo operator to know the grind is real. The myth is that you have to wear every single hat. I call bullshit on that. So, let me ask you this. What if you could build a team of expert marketers, operators, and strategists who work for you around the clock without adding a single name to your payroll? It sounds like a fantasy, but it's not. Today we explore how AI makes this a reality for the one-person army. So, when people hear AI Solopreneur, they often think it just means using ChatGPT to write a few emails. But what I see is a much deeper shift. It's about fundamentally changing your role in your own business. You stop being the person who has to do every single little thing, the doer, and you become the director. I like to think of it like this. You're the conductor of an orchestra. Each AI tool is a different musician, a virtuoso in its own right. You're not playing the violin or the trumpet. You're standing at the front with the baton, guiding all these powerful agents to create a beautiful symphony. That is your business. You absolutely don't need to be a coder to do this. The real skill isn't writing Python. It's being a clever integrator, knowing how to make these tools talk to each other, and becoming a world-class prompter who knows exactly what to ask. So, a common trap is just collecting a random bunch of AI tools. It gets chaotic, like a digital junk drawer. What I find works so much better is to build a clear structure. I like to think of it as assembling your own virtual C-suite. So, instead of just an AI that writes, you have your AI Chief Marketing Officer, your CMO, that's responsible for all content creation and lead generation. You might find that having an AI Chief Operating Officer, a COO, to manage your schedule and handle initial customer queries frees you up immensely. We can even bring in an AI Chief Financial Officer, your CFO, to handle expense tracking and forecasting. When you organize your AI stack this way, giving each tool a clear role, you stop just automating random tasks and start building a strategic, interconnected team. We're about to break down exactly what each of these roles can do for you. Okay, so let's get practical and talk about your AI Chief Marketing Officer. Let's walk through a scenario. Imagine you're a freelance designer launching a new brand identity service. What I would do first is unleash an AI as my market researcher. I'd feed it the websites of 3 competitors and ask it to analyze their service pages for keywords and customer pain points. In minutes, you have a solid foundation. From there, you might find it effective to take those keywords and prompt a large language model to become your content strategist. Ask it for a 12-post blog content calendar, complete with outlines, designed to position you as an expert. Then, for social media, you can use text-to-image AI to generate a dozen stunning, completely unique visuals that match your aesthetic. To cap it all off, you can have an AI draft a personalized email campaign targeting your past clients, announcing the new service, and subtly reminding them of the great work you did before. See? It's a complete integrated launch plan, executed in a fraction of the time. Now, let's move from marketing to operations and build your always-on hub, your AI COO. This is where you get your time back. What I find works incredibly well is training a simple AI chatbot on my business FAQs. Think about it. It can instantly handle 80% of customer questions about pricing, services, or process, even while you're completely offline. That alone is a massive win. but it gets smarter. You might find that using an AI calendar assistant is a game changer. It's not just for booking calls. What I love is how it intelligently analyzes my week, finds those precious 2 or 3 hour blocks, and proactively protects them as deep work time. Your productivity gets optimized without you even thinking about it. All right, let's talk money. Your AI Chief Financial Officer. And I mean going way beyond just sorting your expenses into neat little piles. What I find incredibly powerful are the AI tools that provide genuine predictive cash flow analysis. They'll look at your sales pipeline, your recurring expenses, and your typical payment cycles to give you a heads up weeks in advance if a shortfall is looming. It's like having a crystal ball for your bank account. Another thing I love is using AI to tackle cost creep. You might find it works wonders to set up an AI that scans your monthly subscriptions. It'll flag that tool you haven't logged into for 3 months, or point out redundant services. It stops being a reactive bookkeeper and becomes a proactive financial advisor, constantly looking for ways to save you money. A common pushback I hear is that all this automation sounds cold and impersonal. And look, if it's done badly, it absolutely can be. But what I found is that when you use AI smartly, it does the exact opposite. It allows you to create a scaled up personal touch, which is a massive advantage for a solopreneur. For example, what I like to see is an online coach using an AI tool that reads every new client's intake form. It analyzes their goals, their challenges, and their background, and then suggests a completely personalized learning path or a set of resources just for them. Now, each client feels uniquely understood and catered to from day one. Could you do that manually for 50 clients? No way. AI isn't replacing your personal touch here. It's amplifying it, allowing you to deliver a level of bespoke service that was previously impossible for a one-person business. So far, we focused on automation, getting AI to do things for you. But what I find really unlocks the next level is when you move from automation to augmentation. This is where you position AI not as a servant, but as a creative sparring partner. It's about using it to challenge your own thinking. What I'll often do before a new project is give a prompt like this: act as a skeptical venture capitalist and give me 3 reasons my new business idea might fail. It's brutal, but it forces you to confront weaknesses you'd otherwise ignore. You might also find it incredibly powerful for blue sky thinking. Try something like generate 5 unconventional collaboration ideas between a coffee shop and a local bookstore. This isn't about getting work done faster. It's about using AI to foster genuine innovation and make your ideas stronger. Okay, using individual AI tools is great, but the real magic, the place where you truly get your time back, is when you start connecting them. This is where we build your custom autopilot workflow. What I use for this are platforms like Zapier or Make. Think of them as the central nervous system for your business. They let your tools talk to each other. For instance, what I find incredibly powerful is automating my sales call prep. It works like this. A potential client books a call via Calendly. That booking is the trigger. It kicks off an AI agent to research the client's company and generates a concise 1-page briefing document. The final step in this chain, that document is automatically added to the calendar event. I literally do nothing. I show up to the call, open the invite, and I have a complete brief waiting for me. That's zero manual prep, and it ensures I'm fully prepared every single time. Okay, with all this power, it's tempting to want to automate absolutely everything. But I need to throw in a word of caution here, because I've seen it go wrong. What I found is there's a delicate balance, an automation Goldilocks zone, if you will. You might find that if you over-automate, your brand can start to feel cold and impersonal, and that alienates the very people you're trying to connect with. What I do is define a clear set of tasks that must always remain human. For me, that's things like handling a sensitive customer complaint or nurturing my most important client relationships. Those require nuance that AI just can't replicate yet. And one final thought, be mindful of data security. You might find yourself feeding sensitive business information into dozens of third-party models. So it's smart to be aware of where your data is actually going. So, if right now we're the director of our AI orchestra, what I see on the horizon is the next evolution of that role. We're moving from director to visionary. This is all about the emergence of what people are calling AI agents. Instead of telling an AI to write a blog post about X, you might find yourself giving it a high-level goal, like grow my newsletter subscribers by 100 this month. The agent then acts like an autonomous team member. It strategizes. It analyzes your most popular past content. It drafts new articles, creates the social media snippets, and schedules everything on its own. Your job isn't managing the individual tasks anymore. What I see happening is that your role becomes setting the vision, defining the big picture goals, and then letting your team of autonomous digital workers figure out the execution. It frees you up to focus purely on the ultimate direction of your business. So, let's pull it all together. What I hope you're taking away is that this is more than just tools. It's a new operating system for your business. You might find the biggest change comes from adopting that director mindset. From there, what I've seen be incredibly effective is building out that virtual C-suite, your AI marketer, operator, and strategist, and then connecting them into those powerful, time-saving workflows. And remember, the goal is always to use that new freedom to amplify your unique human touch. Ultimately, what I want to leave you with is the idea that AI empowers you, the solopreneur, to not just compete, but to be more agile and outmaneuver larger, slower companies. Now, as our AI systems become more powerful, how do we trust their decisions? In our next episode, we'll explore explainable AI, or XAI, and why black box models are a serious business risk. I really appreciate you tuning in. If you find this information useful, we would really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe this channel to help others find us. If there are subjects you would like covered, please add in the comments section, and we will include it in future episodes. Thanks for watching.